Friends and family, welcome to another live broadcast brought to you by Premier's Turning Point, with your host, Bishop Dr. Uton Lane, and co-host, Overseer Franklin Williamson. We pray and hope that something that is being said today will bless your soul and spirit. Please take a quick moment to like and share this broadcast with your friends and family. Thank you again for joining us. Let's go into our live program.
Welcome one and all to another time with us on Premier's Turning Point. Truly, it's really wonderful to be with you. And we're really, hoping that, we'll be able to share with you some useful information that you can use to, govern and live a healthy, happy life. I know with the advent of the pandemic, it's been, few and far between where we've been getting, to, really enjoy some of the pleasures that we like to do, and just some of being able to, pass the time and just relax without the stress. But I'm going to do whatever I can this evening to help us all as we highlight, and do an update on the pandemic, since that's still our pressing news. Another piece of news that I would like you to share with you, and I'd like you to really pray a lot about, is we know we expect, as we're in the end of time, that we're going to have wars, rumor of wars, and all kinds of stuff going wild. And definitely, when we look in the advent of what's going on with all the gun violence around, right there we see, that something is definitely in the air, and it's going on all around us. So we want to do whatever we can, however, to share, and just to help one another, just to not be so, have to be living in fear, living in doubt, and living, in this, perilous times that we're in. So I think one thing that I did want to share today, when we talk a little bit about that, is that, we're up against a lot of issues, a lot of problems. But one thing that we have to understand is that the Lord is still in charge. All right. And we know the signs, we see the signs of the time, the seasons, and everything that's going on. But we don't have to lose faith, and we don't have to lose hope, but we can hold on knowing that the Lord is ultimately in charge, and He is able to take care of us. So seeing to that, we are, living and working towards, eternity, as we preach about and talked about recently. We want everybody to realize that, we got to look at the long-term picture, look at the end. All right. We're in the middle of all kinds of stuff right now, but we got to keep focused and keep our minds sharp, looking, to the end of times and the things that are coming up. But right now, today, I just wanted to do a little bit of an update on the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that there's a lot of the cases that skyrocketed in the Northeast and in our part of the world, probably a lot to do with the Omicron variant, the latest variant, which really spreads quite fast, and it's been, just going around, quite a bit. But the good news is, and I think we talked a little bit about this last week, is that it spreads, it comes, it spreads fast. But thank heavens, it seems to be a little bit less, causing less of the severe disease, especially amongst the people that are vaccinated. It seems that most of the people that are vaccinated have been able to have been done quite well, even if they have gotten infected with the Omicron variant, and therefore they are recovering in a day or two, and we're seeing a lot less the severe illnesses in the hospital, especially the lower respiratory symptom like the pneumonias. Again, don't get me wrong, not that we have seen none, but we're seeing much less with this variant. With that said, however, this variant is a lot more infective. So people are getting infected. It's easily spread, and we're seeing a lot more of the spread going on and such alike. So one thing you have to do is you have to make sure that, and even though, as we're saying, it's not as viral, as not as severe disease we're seeing, but still you need to be well protected. It's much more easily spread, and of course, those people who are now susceptible to various illnesses because of their immune status, they then now become at a bigger risk because there's more of it around. And also, we are seeing in the younger children a lot more spread, and it's a lot more easily spread amongst the young children. And we're seeing a lot more hospitalizations in the younger children because the Omicron variant seems to affect more the upper respiratory systems. And we're seeing a lot more croup, the RSV looking kind of diseases and worsening of asthma. And so a lot more children have been a little bit more affected and infected. So we're not out of the woods. We're still dealing with this major pandemic, but the news is a little bit better in terms of it's now the Omicron variant seems to be now have hit its peak, and the positivity rate has been going down in the Northeast, and actually even in Jamaica, where 2 weeks ago the positivity rate was about 70%. I saw the report last night; it was down to about 40%. Still a lot, and so everybody have to still be careful. Everybody has to still take the necessary precautions because we want to make sure we are doing and living as healthy as we possibly can. So the key point being, staying healthy, being in a preventative mode. So we're trying to avoid getting this disease, right? And then, of course, if we get the disease, we also want to recover quickly, and we want not to have a lot of sequelae related to that. So the way to deal with that is really, as we have said before on this program, it seems like the best protection that we have. Of course, we have the Lord on our side, and yes, I do agree that He can protect us, but He has also given the knowledge, and we have been at our disposal the vaccines that we can be vaccinated and be pretty well protected, at least against the severe disease. So yes, you may still get a form of disease, but the severe disease that we see in a lot of cases, we won't see as much of that if we are vaccinated. And at least I think in New Jersey, the vaccination rates are going up. And thank God now we're seeing a decrease in the cases over the last few days. And ultimately, we should see a decrease in the hospitalization. And of course, there is a decrease in the deaths. So this is still a serious, serious problem that we're facing with. And, especially with the reopening, I think the schools that took a little hiatus and took a couple of weeks to allow things to kind of quiet down. Now the children are back in school. We see the increase that we have seen probably from the holidays that is quieting down. So we should be on a trend of seeing a decrease in the rates, of course, as long as another variant doesn't come along. So with the Omicron variant, we see it hit its peak really quickly. We've got a lot of cases. I mean, we were back up to the initial time of the pandemic when the cases were skyrocketing. We were there just recently, but now, thank heavens, we're seeing a little bit now of a downward trend. But I do want you to realize how severe this disease is. For example, in the United States, there was about the total cases in the U.S. About 70,206,000. So we're not talking a little sham of a disease here. Now, thank God, in the U.S. it's getting better. It's not all there yet, but we're up to 53 million vaccines that have been administered. And so it's getting better, and we're seeing more and more. And then don't set another statistics that tells you that this is a severe and major thing is there's been a total deaths in the U.S. has been up to 862,494. So we are really, seeing something major that is going on. We're seeing in terms that it has affected pretty much every aspect of the economy in the world. We see domestic travel decreased for a while, international travel, and there's a lot of issues that have come about that affected us. And we see overall U.S. COVID vaccine distribution and administration is getting better. However, we're still, as I said before, dealing with a lot of issues where all of that is concerned. But I think the key pointers, and we've made this known a lot of time, but I am going to repeat them, is that number one, we all need to be concerned about our health. And therefore, what we want to do is to have as healthy a lifestyle as possible, making sure we're eating right, drinking adequate water, getting adequate sleep, and exercise to have an overall a body, which it will translate into a stronger and a better immune system. Of course, unless you are having some immunosuppressive type of problem, just doing the routine, making sure you're eating right, sleeping right. And of course, if you're not eating adequate, making sure you're getting some multivitamins and minerals in otherwise to give you overall protection of your health. And we will spend a little bit more time over the next couple of weeks just talking about how your health is important. And remember, the Lord does wish that we will prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. So it is very biblical of us being in good health and, taking care of this shell of a body that we have, which is not that eternal body, but this mortal body. We have to take care of it as best as we can to try to provide the necessary things that we need. And so to help us overall function well and, be in great shape. So if we're in the better shape we're in, the better our health, the better our body's going to be able to fight all of the illnesses that are going to come up, including the COVID-19. So, of course, if you have a lot of symptoms, you need to speak with your physician. Fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle or body aches, headache, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. This is just a partial list of some of the major symptoms that you may experience if you are coming down with the COVID-19. Be aware that some of these symptoms are similar for the flu, so it's hard to differentiate between the two at times. So, of course, if you're feeling not well, the key pointer here is to speak with your physician, get the suggestion in which way that you should go and to help you. And for example, so you can, what to do if you are sick. The CDC has updated some of the protocols, which I'll go over in a minute. But if you have a fever, cough, or other symptoms, you might have COVID. So most people have mild illnesses and are able to recover at home without any major issues, especially if it's the Omicron variant and especially if you've been vaccinated. But you want to keep track of your symptoms. If you have an emergency warning sign, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, severe chest pain, call 911. And this is the protocol that you should be following. So no one should be gasping for breath, having problems breathing, and sitting around hoping it's going to pass. If that develops, you want to call 911. All right? And of course, some way to help prevent the spread. If you're sick, you want to stay home except to get medical care. Take care of yourself again, get rest, stay hydrated, take over-the-counter medicines such as acetaminophen to help with fever and aches and pain, some guanefacin to help you with congestion and stuff. Stay in touch with your doctor. Very, very important. Call before you get any medical care. Be sure you speak with them, especially having trouble breathing. You're going to call your doctor and also call the emergency services. Avoid public transportation, avoid ride sharing. Separate yourself from other people in your household. Even if you're sick and other people are well, you want to try and separate yourself. And Because one thing to be realized, any infected person can spread the COVID-19 starting 48 hours or 2 days before the person has any symptoms or even testing positive. So by letting your close contacts know that they have been exposed, you're helping them to protect everyone. So basically, making sure if you're in close quarters, try to separate and such like. Monitor your symptoms to see if of course, you're turning around and getting better. Uh, don't forget they have changed some of the quarantine requirements, especially if we're now where we have the different variants. You want to stay home, of course, if you are sick. As I mentioned before, stay out of reach of others. If you were exposed, quarantining and staying away from others when you have been in contact with someone that has the COVID-19. And if you're sick or you test positive, isolate, really isolate yourself and making sure that you're symptom free and getting better. The new guidelines are if you have been vaccinated and you have any symptoms, you want to stay home. If you're that quarantined for at least 5 full days, and then wear a well-fitted mask. If you must be around others, at home. All right, get tested. Even if you don't develop symptoms, but you're exposed, you do not have to stay home unless you develop the symptoms. All right, if you're exposed and you're up to date on your COVID-19 vaccine, then unless you have symptoms, you really don't have to stay home because you're relatively covered. But if you don't develop symptoms, get tested at least 5 days after the last contact with someone that was exposed. So you can then see if, by any chance, anything is going on. You want to then, again, wear a mask. I know the CDC kind of edge and just say wear a well-fitted mask. My suggestion is that we want to go on KN95, N95 are one of the better ones to better protect yourself. And you're going to watch your symptoms. And after 10 days of your last close contact, you could then be back in the regular population and yes, again, still wearing your mask. But take precautions until your symptoms are free and until our 10 days have passed since under known exposure. So you can get, well protected and keep others protected. And really that is the name of the game right now. They avoid travel, avoid being around people who are at high risk, and then just go from there. Of course, if you are tested positive, you need to stay at home for at least 5 days. Stay home and isolate from others. Wear a well-fitted mask if you got to be around anybody. When you're ending the isolation, if you had symptoms, you got to wait until 5 full days after your symptoms have been abated and you have no fever, such alike, and then you could wear masks for and then around your close contacts for another 5 days to give you a maximum of 10 days. So the key point is, you want to watch yourself. I know some countries that if you travel to, if you're not vaccinated and you go there, even if you have with your negative test, they still isolate you, quarantine you for a couple of weeks to be sure. So different rate of quarantine you're going to see depending on where you are, different places that you may have traveled to. You're going to see that you need, better coverage. So, of course, if anyone have any questions, yes, you can send your question in either on Facebook or on YouTube. And we will be happy to, if you make comments there, we'll be happy to look at that and take care of that for you. Be there, with you to help out. So you want to make sure that you are well protected, well covered. And then, of course, you want to sanitize if you touch any surfaces, if you're around anybody, especially when you go out. You want to also wash hands thoroughly, soap and water. If you come in contact with anything or just, from just being out and about. And then this is how you're going to keep the spread of infection down. You're going to keep yourself protected, keep others protected, and you're going to be well on your way. We're going to be well on our way to, kind of try to get this pandemic under control. As we see the cases decrease, I would expect over the next couple of weeks, of course, barring another variant coming along, I think we should be seeing that turning point where we're getting the handle on all of that and find that we're coming out somewhat from under this pandemic. I still think it's going to take a while for us to be back to the normal that we're used to. And so in the meantime, we have to deal with this new normal and making sure we're mask protected and we're, taking all the precautions to protect those around us. I know there's still a lot of negative press and fake and false news out there, either about the shot itself and causing, various things versus, whether or not people think the vaccine is doing anything to deliver us to, really bad to them. But I think from the studies, and we have been now, vaccine been out about a year, we can now see where the safety is pretty well documented. Not that you can't get side effects. I know that's possible. But in general, a lot of the things that people were worried about and people were, very apprehensive about, we can put a lot of that to rest. And people can feel that, this vaccine has been more positive than negative. And it's, been quite a help to people in general to protect them from, contracting the COVID-19 infection. Because as we have said also before, getting the infection is not without its whole host of things, because there's a lot of people are left with a lot of chronic problems, chronic lung issues, chronic heart issues, musculoskeletal problems, a lot of chronic things that have developed from those people who have had the COVID-19 infection. So getting the infection, yes, is going to produce natural immunity, but even so, they're also not sure, as with the immunity from getting vaccinated does wear off after months. It does seem like their natural immunity also wears off. So even if you have been exposed and had the virus, you still need to think about getting vaccinated, once you're better. And before, we were saying wait either for your new vaccination or boosters for a couple of months after an active infection. But the recommendation is now, if you've been symptom-free for 10 days, you should go ahead and get your vaccine and or your booster, as whichever one is needed to help protect you. So we want everybody out there to be well covered, well protected, and, getting all the necessary information and help that they need so that they can live a healthy life and that their life can be long and happy as we, rely on, then the Lord to lead us and guide us the rest of the way. But we can help ourselves by following the various protocols, taking the necessary precautions, and making sure that we are distancing and, masking and following up on all of that especially when we're in a closed environment or inside of a building or a sanctuary and such alike. It's going to be important that we are well covered and that we are well protected. And I think I will keep preaching that until everybody, I think, kind of get it, because as a matter of fact, no matter how much we repeat it, there's still a lot of negativism out there and a lot of people who are apprehensive and a lot of people who are fearful. But we want to really help you to have a good understanding of what is the virus, and then what various treatment are available. And now they're coming out with a medication that will help with the symptoms. Of course, it is not going to cure or, by the way, stop or kill the virus. It's really an antiviral that's going to help you, to recover quicker. It's not widely available yet, but it's becoming available. And you can, again, speak with your physician if you have some symptoms that are not abating and not getting better, whether this medication will be helpful in cutting your not exposure, cutting your downtime, and getting you back on your feet at a quicker basis. Kind of like, with the flu, we have a couple anti-flu medication that we use, and those seem to cut the time of illness in about a half. So hopefully, we're going to see something similar with whatever is coming out. But I want you to realize that the Lord is ultimately in charge. If you're going through a problem with this pandemic, seek out the rightful help. Do not come up with your own theories or follow all of the fake theories that we have out there. But, think about it in a structured, scientific manner and see what is, the answer that you're getting from the Lord, the answer you're getting from the Word, the answer you're getting from the people of God. And then, govern yourself accordingly. Because I think in the bottom line is we are really just reaching out to everybody today, trying to help everyone to find their place of quietness, their place of rest, the place where they feel good all over. And that's what we're about. So we are about giving out the information that is going to help you to be well accomplished in every aspect of your life. Because at the end of the day, we want to be healthy, we want to be strong, we want to live a joyful life, right? That is what I'm sure is our desire, just to, be in a good shape. And we're going to be able to do this as we follow the basic principles and the precepts that is set down. We know as we transition to the last part of the program today, I wanted to, if anyone has any comments, questions, thoughts, please put it in the chat on either Facebook or in the comments on YouTube, and we'll be more than happy to see those and to answer anything for you, because we want a people who are well informed. We want a people who are have the knowledge. We want a people who can make informed decisions, and this is what it's about. I don't want to just tell you something and push it down your throat. No, we want you to hear, to understand, comprehend, and if you need help, get the necessary help so you can comprehend and understand what is going on and make the best choice that is going to be wholesome for you, your family, your loved ones, and everybody's going to come out of that feeling much better. So we want everybody to, really, really, really consider, being vaccinated, consider being protected, consider, getting all the information and following up as needed, because it is going to be up to each of one of us to take care of ourselves and to protect others. So we want you to, keep that all in mind. Just by way of announcements, we just want to invite everyone. We do have our regular service on Sundays at 9 a.m. We're having in person. Of course, we screen and we take the necessary precautions. It is at 9 o'clock, and church is located at 230 Davidson Avenue in Somerset, New Jersey. We are inviting one and all who are listening tonight just to make sure you join us. And, we have enough space to space out and to, do the social distancing, and we wear masks for almost all activities. So we want everybody to know that you can come to a safe place and fellowship and worship as we do this together. We want you to feel free as well. And I'm going to take a little bit today and talk about this because we do, ask each and every one listening, if it's in your heart, you've been blessed, to please be a blessing to the ministry so we can carry out all the necessary programming and things that we have to spread the gospel, number one, and also to have a healthy community. So that is, our goal. So we do indulge you to make a donation. You can choose to go to Cash App at $PFLMI ORG. or you can go to our website at pflmi.org, pflmi.org. You can do /donation, and you can go there and make a donation. You can stipulate your donation is for Turning Point or just for all the general things. Premier is a family-oriented ministry, and we are here to build up families, to be of support to families in every way, shape, or form. So we have a lot of plans and a lot of things that we would like to do. We also are supportive of a orphanage in Kenya, and we do supply them with the things that they need to function. We also do a lot of still work in charity work in Jamaica, and then of course with all the various fires and things around, we want to be of help to all those that are involved. So please feel free to give as the Lord has blessed you, and as God has prospered you. We ask you to give into this ministry, and we know God will bless you. We're also, for the ministry, looking for partners who will be those who would want to be of monthly support to help us to get the word out and the gospel out. And that is, you'll hear more about that, but you can partner with us, stay in touch with us. We will keep you in touch, informed, and let you know everything that's going on. We'll also have, supportive things for the partners. So we want everyone who can, and whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 or more a month, that would be go to a good cause to help out spreading the word of God, and also to help keep the population and our community in good health. So this is what we want to push forward and keep pushing. We do need your help, and we're asking you to, make a special effort as the Lord has blessed you, whether through our regular services, whether through Turning Point. If the Lord is blessing you and helping you, then please give back unto the Lord and let Him continue to pour out of His Spirit and to continue to bless you and to give you all the things that you need. So we want you to keep that in mind. For the last few minutes, I wanted to talk about, what do people think? And if you have a comment, again, I would indulge you to share that with me. What do you think about all the gun violence that is going on? And I hear it both here in the U.S., New York, and other places, and also in my small island of Jamaica. I hear there's a lot of that going on. Not that it's worse there than anywhere else. It's just that it's a small place, so you hear about everything. But what do people think is really going on? What do you think is the source of all of that? And what then do you think we can do to make a difference or to help in that? Because, we're part of the community, and the community at large, the world, we're part of all that. And so we live here, we are partaking in the things going on. So what do we think is really going on, and what can be done? I did want to start that conversation. If there's anybody who wanted to share regarding that, before I dive in and give you, my opinion and my thoughts of what is going on. Because it's really, when you think about it, it's very serious. We've had babies are being shot, young people, older people. It seemed to look now like the gun warriors, I call them, that they don't really care if they're caught on camera. They don't care if someone sees them. Yes, they run away, but it seems as if there's a don't care attitude, and we're seeing more and more people are getting hurt and troubled. And so what do people think is, first, number one, causing it? And number two, what do you think we can do about it? I really would like to hear from anybody who out there who would want to share in that, so that we can have a little bit of a dialogue for the last few minutes instead of a monologue by me. So I really indulge if anybody would like to pipe in and share your thoughts, your comments, and your feelings where any of that is concerned. And then we will, chime back in and then try to take it over. Anyone who would like to share, just, send us your thoughts, your comments, and we will, be glad to look at and to share with you and to, see if we can come up with even any, and if not say a solution, but any temporary workaround so that we can people can feel safe out there and feel safe, going back and forth and carrying out their regular and their daily things that they have. Because it's going to be important that we talk about this. And it may be that we come to the conclusion that we are not going to change much because we're living in the end of times. And the Lord is ultimately in control, and we just trying to pass through. That may be one answer, but we're living here, and we're facing all of these issues on a daily basis. We're facing, the violence is causing people to be living in fear, people to be anxious. Those with post-traumatic stress disorder has been triggered, and all kinds of stuff. We see that is going on. But how can we, remedy this problem? Who can give us any reason to think that we can overcome this problem with all that is going on? Because I think it's going to be important how we look at this. Because one hand you can look at it and just throw up your hands and say, it's in the Lord's hand, and I can't do much about it anyway. And we understand that. But there is also, us praying and fasting and asking God to turn things around. We know that He's able. We see what He did for Nineveh. And when the people decided to pray and to fast, then we see, they got some great results because so many people got saved. The city was spared and such like. So we want you to, just think about it. What can we do? I did come up with one. There was prayer and fasting, giving God praise, right? Giving Him honor, because knowing that no matter what's going on, He's able to bring about our desired end. And there's an expected end that we have in store, and we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to double think it. We can just rely on the fact that the Lord is going to take care of us. And we don't have to, be in doubt or in fear or wondering, walking around with our hands on our head. But we can lift up our head, and we can lift up our eyes, and we can see God for who He is. And then we can acknowledge that He is coming back for us. And we just have to hold on because He is definitely on the way. So we want people to really be thinking about this, and I will bring it back up again next time we meet, but be thinking about it, what is going on in the world, and what it is that we, the people of God, will be able to do about it. Is there anything that we can do? Or do we just, live in fear and doubt and worry and all of that? Or do we, trust God to take care of us and to take care of everything? Do we trust Him to be on our side and work things out for us? So we want to get an handle on that, realizing what is going on in the world. And I want to venture to say that the best tool that we have against this is prayer and fasting. The best tool that we have, because of course, when you're praying and you're fasting, you're going to be focusing on God and not focusing on all the things that is going on around us. God is then able to speak to us, speak to our heart, and to reveal and make revelations and bring us into a place of rest with Him. So we have to make sure we know where we stand, and just ask the Lord to have His way, ask Him to guide us. And trust me, pandemic or not, God is yet in control. Gun violence or not, God is yet in control, and there is nothing that is too hard for God. So therefore, we can expect a miracle. We can expect a breakthrough. We can expect a sense of freedom when we come under the knowledge of who Jesus is and really understand. And we can just keep moving on and moving up higher because, we now know that God is able. And so I want to just close out today thanking everybody who joined us for Premier's Turning Points. So the main focus today was a quick COVID update and reminding everybody that the shot, the immunization is relatively effective in preventing serious disease. It also seems to give us immunity against even mild disease. So we got to just get ready, making sure we are vaccinated, we're tested, and also if we are not vaccinated, I am going to encourage those hearing me today to consider it. Of course, you are in charge, but if you are not vaccinated, we're going to encourage you to take extra and special precautions to make sure there is no further spread of this deadly disease. So the blessings of the Lord be with you today. We thank you for joining us on Premier's Turning Point. We look forward to hearing from you, seeing some of you in person. We look forward to the will of God being done and being carried out. So I want to give out the warning that we are fasting and praying right now, and we expect miracles. We expect God to move. And so we're going to see, hallelujah, where the Lord takes us. So God bless you this evening. Have a wonderful evening, and just remain faithful. And feel free to join us either in-person service, or you can join us on YouTube or Facebook. Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Turning Point family, what an awesome time we just had. To all our first-time guests, we truly appreciate you for joining our live broadcast. We would like to hear from you, so please send us your comments, questions, or testimonies of how this program has impacted your life. Our email address is info@pflmi.org. Finally, if you feel led at any time to give to this ministry, please visit us at pflmi.org and click on the tab for donations. You can also give via Cash App at $PFLMIORG. We're looking forward to meeting with you live on next week's program. Have a blessed and prosperous weekend.